Hey everybody, this is Connie, and I figured it was time to update my video log about my weight loss since my VSG surgery on March 23rd of 2012. Since the last time I made a video, I think it was 1 month out, and now I'm 4 months out. It has been a while since I've done a video. Just been busy and hadn't really thought about getting on here, and so I decided it was time to get on here and do another update. On March 23rd, 2012, when I went in to have my surgery, I was 346, and I'm now 303, so I've lost 43 pounds since surgery. That's in 4 months. So I'm averaging about 10 pounds a month. My doctor, of course, doesn't think that's good at all, and he thinks I should be losing more than that, even though I'm not exercising. I've probably said it before, but I have arthritis in both knees and in the one hip really bad. I'm trying to get up enough nerve to go get a cortisone shot in my hip. I need to really do that. And I do want to start walking on my treadmill and try to build up my endurance, but it just seems like I'm still, even though I'm almost 100 pounds down since last June, it just seems like it's still a struggle for me to walk any amount of time on the treadmill. And I need to keep telling myself that even 5 minutes helps, and I need to do that. So that's one thing I really need to work on. But I am very happy with my progress. Of course, I would love to be losing 20 pounds or more a month, but that's just how my body is working. And I think that's one thing you need to remember if you're considering their surgery. Don't set your goals too high, and then don't set them too low. I mean, listen to what other people have to say, but it's really an individual thing, and you just have to, if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're losing, you're averaging 10 pounds a month like I am, and I'm sure there are other people out there that are doing the same thing, then, you just have to be happy with yourself and know that you're doing right. I write everything down in my calorie counter app. fatsecret.com is where I signed up, and I have an account where you can record your weight as you go, and I weigh once a week on Fridays. And you can keep track of what you eat, and I really like this particular app. I know a lot of other people have used different apps, but this is just the one that I really like. And I have a tablet, and I keep track of it with the app, the calorie counter app. And I'll put a link either at the bottom of this YouTube video, or you can go to my blog, which is www.me-200.blogspot.com, and I'll put a link also down in the below the video, because on my weight loss blog, I do from time to time show pictures, full-length pictures, of me losing, and talk about recipes and things like that. So I would love for you to stop by, and I'd love for you to follow that blog. It's been just recently that I actually made it public so that people could go to it, because I just guess I didn't really want to share publicly, my weight loss and everything. But I really feel like, with the VSG weight loss surgery as a tool, and just my psyche, and knowing that I really need to do it this time. I don't know if I said anything in the last video, but I did have a cancer scare last June 2011, and then I ended up not having cancer. It was female related, and so that was great. And so I have a really good female gynecologist, and she's the one that actually encouraged me to seek out Dr. Prello and have the weight loss surgery. So as far as how I'm feeling great. There are people that are noticing that I'm losing weight, but usually they just say that they can really tell it in my face. I know it'll take time before people really will start noticing, like in my clothes and in my body, and that's fine with me, because I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing it for me. And another thing I want to say is that if I didn't have my faith in the Lord, I don't think I could have even come this far, because I pray just about every day for Him to help me and to give me the strength to keep going, because just because you've had this surgery, you still have those mind issues. And what I've noticed is like, you know, you eat 3 times a day, so I eat at, you know, 3 snacks. So I eat at, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning, then at 9 o'clock my snack, 12 o'clock lunch, 3 o'clock snack, 5, 6 o'clock supper, and then after supper, it just depends. I try not to go as late as 9, but I'll have a small snack, you know, before I go to bed. Try to keep those at 100-calorie snacks. Sometimes I don't have to have them at the one at night, but I try to always have them because it does help your metabolism if you're eating every three hours. So, you know, if I didn't, you know, have, you know, the surgery, I don't know if I could even have gone this far staying on, you know, this strict on what I'm eating. But the surgery really does keep you satisfied, especially if you you eat your protein like you're supposed to and keep your protein count up. But what I find is, like, with the mind issue, it's like, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to wait till that, from 6 o'clock, not so much in the morning, but afternoon, like my lunch at 12, and wait until 3 to have my snack. It's like I'm hungry, but I'm really not hungry. I think I'm just wanting to eat something. And if I stop and think about it and get busy with something else, do a craft, knit, crochet, work on my scrapbooking, just, you know, get up and move around and not think about it, that helps. So you have to just sort of find your own way of working with it. But, you know, it's been a year, almost a year, well over a year since I've actually been watching what I eat. Actually, I've lost 94 pounds since June 28th of last year. So I lost quite a bit before surgery, because I actually needed to lose. He wanted me to lose another 30 pounds before surgery, so I actually did do that. And I'm staying at between 800 and 1,000 calories a day. I know at one time my nutritionist said that a calorie is a calorie, but really in all reality it's not. And my issue is with carbs. My first month I was paying attention to calories and not really paying attention to carbs. And so I was having things like yogurt and applesauce, you know, tomatoes, fruit, and my carb count was way too much. I mean, I was having, you know, 100 carbs a day to 170 carbs a day, depending upon the day. And when I came back and looked at my Fat Secret app, which is called Calorie Counter, and realized that, I realized why at that time I wasn't losing as well. So I started really watching my carbs. And Dr. Perillo suggested having no more than 10 carbs at any meal. And if I've eaten 6 times a day, that would be 60 carbs a day. I don't do that many. I know back a long time ago when I did a low-carb diet, they wanted you to stick at 25 to 30 carbs a day. Some days that's okay, you can do that, but most normal days, I'm averaging 40 carbs. So anywhere between 30 and 40 carbs a day. So you have to really look at the packaging to know your carbs, and you want to pay attention to net carbs. So like the Arnold sandwich thins are a really nice bread substitute, like if you don't want to use a whole slice of bread. And when I do use a whole slice of bread, I put it in the toaster and toast it. And then, so if it's got 45 calories, I lay it flat on the counter like this and take my serrated knife and then go in like this all the way around and like cut it in half. So then if you want a sandwich, you can use both half with one piece of bread, or I just use one half and have a toplet sandwich. So the Arnold sandwich thins, when you look at the package, it might shock you like, oh, this has too many carbs. But what you have to do is you have to take away the fiber content. So let's just say something has 18 shows that it has 18 carbohydrates per serving, but it has 10 grams of fiber. You take the 10 grams of fiber away from that 18 grams of carbohydrate, and it gives you 8 grams of carbohydrate, net grams of carbohydrate. So that's what you pay attention to. And that's another thing I like about the Calorie Counter app, because you can choose to show the net carbs, and then it'll calculate that for you so you can keep track of your carbs for the day. Another thing that I've done in this past couple of months is my clothes was starting to get really loose, and so I cleaned out my closet and another place that I keep clothes, and I got rid of bags of clothes and took them to Goodwill. There's actually a picture I'm pretty sure on my blog, and if there's not, I'll end up putting one up, showing how many bags of clothes that I got rid of. And I just kept, the clothes that I was wearing at the time. So I'm not in 4X anymore. 3X I can wear, but they're definitely getting loose, but I have to have something to wear. And I'm not quite in 2X yet. I know some of the t-shirts are still like a little tight around my hips, because that's where I carry a lot of my weight, is my waist and down. So I'm not real comfortable wearing just my t-shirts yet. So but I'm gonna get there. And then as of this morning, I got in the closet and I have these actually 2 pair of slacks that zip up and button, and I haven't been even wanting to try those on because I really didn't think I had lost enough to wear those again, but I had. So actually I tried those on this morning and they just zipped up just fine, and I can wear those. And so that was really an exciting thing for me. And even though they're size 28, 26, 28, just to be able to get in those, it felt really good because I was not even able to get one leg in those a year ago. So still sticking with my everything I'm supposed to take. My vitamin D once a week, the chewable vitamins twice a day, calcium twice a day, the omeprazole, which is for gas, that I take every night, that Dr. Prello has me on. I take that. The only issues as far as with food for me, foods that don't really sit well with me, is beef. For some reason, when my husband grilled out a hamburger a month or so ago, and I had half a hamburger, and I weighed it on my little scale to make sure it's 2 ounces, because beef and chicken, 2 ounces is all I can. Just that is all I can really hold. So but beef, it just does not agree with my stomach. It just tears my stomach up. So I just stay clear of beef. I thought I could have a little bit the other day in with my angel hair pasta that I make with my zucchini slicer, and I couldn't even. I couldn't do it. So I need to steer clear of that. Another thing is tomatoes. I do have tomatoes once in a while, but I think it might be the acid in the tomatoes. It just sort of like doesn't sit well in my stomach. Sort of just, I feel funny. So I really, even though I love tomatoes, I very rarely will have tomatoes. I did have some little diced tomatoes on a salad the other day when I went out to eat with my husband at Longhorn Steakhouse, but I just ate like a third of the salad. So and it didn't tear up my stomach. So that's really only issues I've had with food as far as things that I can't eat. I've had a lot of I call winning the battle with food, because I've been tempted to go to Dunkin' Donuts and have a blended coffee because I've done so well this week, or maybe buy a little thing of ice cream at the store because I've done good. But I don't. I talk myself out of it because I'm still over 300 pounds. I still have a lot to lose, and maybe at some point in time when I've lost all my weight and am maintaining, I can allow myself little treats like that once in a while. And I try not to think of it like, I can't have it. I try to think of it like that's my choice. I don't want to have it. Because it's just not good for me. And then if you're watching your carbs and you look at the carb content, that will change your mind, right away, not to have a particular thing because of the carb content. So I'm doing great. I'm really happy, like I said, with what I've lost, even though I'm not apparently at the norm and where I should be. Some other little things I'd like to mention to you. When you have VSG surgery, you can't eat big servings. So like if I would make me a little English muffin, one side of English muffin pizza, I can't only have it just a little bit of sauce. And when I have my, when I use my, like my ragu, the pizza sauce, or my ragu classic Alfredo sauce, the white sauce, for my pasta, like my spaghetti squash pasta or my zucchini pasta, what I find is if I keep it in the refrigerator, you know, since I don't eat that often, and I'll go back and open up the jar, and it's growing. It's got, you know, and I have to throw it away, and I waste it. So on Pinterest, I saw this tip where you take ice cube trays, and so I have used this ice cube tray, and then I picked up some other ice cube trays the other day at Ollie's. And I like these because they store like this, but then when you fill them and you turn around, you know, so you can have things in there. And I think these will hold a little bit more in each section than the other one that I was using, because nobody has ice cube trays anymore. You know, we have ice makers, so I did have to pick up some ice cube trays. And what I like to do is when I fill the ice cube trays up with my Alfredo sauce or my my pizza sauce, is if like on this one, I think it's a 1/4 cup serving, and of course we're not ever going to use a 1/4 cup on a little size that we can eat, so it'd be more like an 1/8 of a cup. So what I do is I put an 1/8 of a cup, you know, like 1/2 of a 1/4 of a cup, and then I use that and I fill up the cubes, and I pay attention to how many cubes it fills up so that I know later what serving size I need to thaw out. And so then what you do is you put those in the freezer in your ice cream trays and let them get frozen solid overnight, and then you pop them out into a Ziploc bag. And then when you need a little bit of pizza sauce or a little bit of Alfredo sauce, you can go in and pull out just a couple of cubes. And like when I had my lunch today, I had the zucchini shrimp Alfredo pasta today, and I took 3 of those little cubes out and popped them in the microwave for about a minute, and then put everything in there and stirred it up, you know, and it tasted fine. It didn't taste like it had been frozen or anything. And I'm not as wasteful now. Now I can I'm more frugal in my products. So another product that I found that I love is the Morningstar grillers. And actually on my weight loss blog, you'll see where I compared those with the Boca. They're called vegan burgers, and the Morningstar has, you know, twice as many calories per patty, 170 I think, whereas the Boca has 70 calories. But I really prefer the taste of and the look of the Morningstar grillers. They really taste just like a hamburger, and then they don't tear my stomach up, and so it's like I can have a topless hamburger, and I feel like I'm really getting something really good, and I enjoy it. So I still would buy the Boca because I like the Boca too, and so I just sort of depend upon my calories that day and what I'm planning to eat. If I need to go a little lower on my calories, I might have the Boca, and then if I can afford the extra calories, I'll go ahead and have the Morningstar, because both of them have the same amount of carbs, and so you don't really have to worry about that. Now I was talking about that zucchini angel hair pasta that I do, and I have a picture on my blog, and I have links on my blog. But what I bought was this spiral slicer, and it has 3 parts. This doesn't lock, but it has a bowl to where everything goes, and then it has this little notch. It's hard to see, but it's this little notch here that you move back and forth, and I have it in the position for the angel hair pasta. And then this locks on to the second part. This locks on to the second part here, so I can take that off. And inside it has this very sharp blade here for spiral slicing, and then you have this lifted up, tiny little blades to make the zucchini pasta. And it has a little pin, plastic pin right there in the middle. And you peel your zucchini, and you know, like about this size zucchini, and you slice it in half, so you have about a 3.5 inch piece. Make sure it's, you know, sits flat, and sit it right there on that little pin. And then there's little pointy things here, and you sit that on top. So when you place this on, this is going to be up because you're going to have, that's going to sit on top of your zucchini piece. And then you just apply, you know, pressure. It doesn't take much pressure at all, and you just turn this, and what comes out in the bottom is your angel hair zucchini. And you don't even have to cook it. So a whole zucchini about that 6 or 7 inch size will make 2 servings for me. And so I go ahead and just peel and do 1 zucchini at a time, and then keep the other half in the refrigerator until the next day. And I like mixing it with shrimp, the little shrimp that you can buy frozen. It's already cooked, and it's really easy to thaw out in the sink. And so even though I warm up my Alfredo sauce, and then once I mix it with the you know, the zucchini, which has been in the refrigerator, and then my shrimp, which is, you know, cold too because I've thawed it out. It's a cold dish, and I mean, you could warm it up, but I like it cold, and it's very fulfilling. It's very good, and the Alfredo sauce gives it just enough flavor, so I don't even salt and pepper it. But that's another tip that I wanted to tell you, because that works really well with me, and I've really been enjoying eating that. It doesn't tear my stomach up, and it keeps me satisfied, and I get my protein in for that meal. So another thing, I do still have, I always get at least my 60 grams of protein in a day, but it is hard to get, seems like, to get my protein in. I don't know why, but it just, I don't know, I'm just having a hard time. But I do, I haven't noticed, as far as my hair, I mean, I've got good hair, thick hair, even though it's turning gray quicker than I would like. But I do notice I lose a lot of hair. Whereas I didn't used to. I mean, I have to clean out the shower daily. When I lose, you know, when I wash my hair, I lose a lot of hair. When I blow dry my hair, and I'm actually sitting in what used to be my shop, and you can see my kitchen's just right beside of it. I can close the pocket door, but I don't do hair anymore. But and eventually we're going to take out this black and white floor and redo the floor in the kitchen, and but I still have my shop in here, so this is actually where I blow dry my hair. And I really have to sweep every time after I blow dry my hair so that the hair won't end up getting in the kitchen, because, and I even close that pocket door now when I dry my hair, because I lose a lot of hair when I'm blow drying. I mean, it just flies. And I'm always looking down, and I'll see hairs on me, and I'm picking hairs. There's one now, so I'm picking hairs off of me. And I see, you know, a lot of them are gray, but a lot of them are still red, so I don't, you know, want to lose any hair, even if it's gray or red. Like I said, I still have a lot, so it's not like I'm worried that I'm going to lose all my hair. But I do notice that I'm definitely losing hair. So so if that's an issue for you, you might want to try to up your protein. I keep telling myself I'm going to use my unflavored protein powder and start adding it to, like, my eggs in the morning or things that I eat. Because I could have added some to my Alfredo sauce today, and I just don't think about it. I need to keep the jar of, you know, the package out so I see it, so I remember to do that, because that will up my protein. I think it ups your calories a little bit, but not much, negligible. One other thing I want to mention is that, you know, we eat a lot of cheese, and I love my Baby Bell cheese and my string cheese. But I do like my sliced American cheese, and I have a piece of sliced American cheese on me, like my my Morningstar burgers and my egg in the morning. And if you're just using regular American cheese, like Kraft American cheese or other cheeses, you're going to have, you know, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 carbs per slice, and I don't want to use those carbs for a piece of cheese. So I found the Kraft Deluxe American cheese, and it has to say deluxe. And like I said, I'll mention that also on my blog. But it has no carbs. So I can have a piece of cheese, count the calories. I think it's 70 calories per slice, but it has no carbs, so it doesn't make my carb count go up. And I'm just real carb sensitive, and you may be too. So if you haven't been losing as good, you could maybe try watching your carbs, and it'll help you. Even though I've been watching my carbs, the first week that I switched and went so far down on carbs, I lost 7 pounds. But that's not normal for me. I lose, you know, usually anywhere from 2 to 4 pounds a week is average. And so even though I've been watching my carbs and keeping my calories at 800 to 1,000, I'm still just losing, 2 to 4 pounds a week. And so I'm thinking it's got to be because I'm not exercising that I'm not losing like Dr. Pirelli wants me to. But because I know, I'm not eating things that I'm not supposed to eat because I write everything down. In fact, last week or so ago, I found some Mentos candies in my knitting bag. And there was 5 left. And I looked, and I knew that they were 70 calories and 1 carb each. And I decided I was going to have them. And so I did. I had those Mentos, but I counted them. So even if I have, a couple of tortilla chips, 2 or 3, or if my husband's eating something, and I just can't, it's like, oh, I really would love to have the taste of Pringles. And even if I eat 2 or 3 Pringles chips, I count it. I go in and I write it down and I count it so that I won't go over my calories that day. Even though it ups my carbs, but I keep track and I try not to go over my 30 or 40 carbs. I still feel guilty when I do that. But, this is life and there's things around you. And so you can't just, you're going to slip sometimes and have something you shouldn't have. But if you do, just count it. And then if you really do bad, just, get back on it the next day. Luckily, I hadn't had to do that. But I still, there's still a part of me that just still feels guilty if I do have something. As far as the carbs, there's bad carbs and good carbs. And you'd much rather have good carbs like the fruit, the tomatoes, and the vegetables, yogurt, and the applesauce. I'm trying my best to stay away from those right now until maybe I get into maintenance because I'm so carb sensitive, it seems. But if I'm going to have, something bad, I would look for good carbs instead of the bad carbs. So I am going to stand up. I don't like standing up, but I'm going to stand up and show that, I am, even though I'm still heavy, over 300 pounds, I'm noticing that, I do need a better bra. I'm noticing that I am, starting to get a waist. So that makes me feel good that I am, starting to, my clothes are starting to fit me better instead of my shirts, really sticking out and being full of stomach. I am, starting to see my figure again. I tend to melt like a candle, so I feel like I'm losing it in my face and my boobs, first. And the last place I'm going to lose it is my hips. But that's okay, because I know it's going to come. And I love getting in the car to go somewhere, and I can have the steering wheel, used to have to have it completely up, and now I can have it all the way, almost all the way down, where it should be anyway because of the airbag. And my stomach is nowhere near close to the, it's this far away from the steering wheel. And I remember a time when my stomach was right up at the steering wheel, and when I would have my ring on, my fat, would be right there, and I couldn't even slide my ring between the steering wheel and my stomach. And now it's like this far away. So that's good. And buckling the seatbelt's of course easier, and getting up and down steps is a little easier because of my knees. I still do have a problem a little bit with that, but I'm just noticing everything's getting easier. So if you're even considering having that surgery, just do it for yourself. There's been a lot of issues with us as far as like the billing. We were charged when I finally got all the bills in from my VSG surgery. Just 2 of the bills added up to over $10,000 that we were going to have to pay out of pocket after already paying lots out of pocket. I mean, $35 for every doctor's visit, $400 for a naturally slim program that Michael's made us do, and then the hospital made us pay our portion up front, which was $2,700. We had to pay that up front. The Lord worked it out. Thank you, Lord, and helped me so that we could get that paid so that I could have the surgery. But we have an advocate with Michael's. Again, thank the Lord. And she got a hold of these companies and helped and bring that $10,000 down to $1,000. So that's just a real blessing. And of course, I have to pay just a little bit, per month to those to try to get them paid off. But even if you have to do that, you have to pay things over the next months for even a year after your surgery or 2 years or whatever, do it, because you're worth it and you will feel so much better. And I hate that I waited this long, because I feel like I was just sitting around at home, not going anywhere, and just sort of waiting to die, and depressed because I didn't feel good, couldn't get around, didn't like the way I looked. And I'm finding now that with, like 100 pounds off now, like I said, only 43 since surgery, but 100, almost 100 since last year, that I'm getting out more. I can actually get in the car and go to more than one store, and not be just out of breath and just dying. Went off with my husband the other day for his birthday, and we went, oh my gosh, everywhere. We went to the Barnes & Noble bookstore. I stayed in there with him the whole time while he looked at his books and I looked at magazines. Then we went to Ollie's, and we went to H.H. Gregg. We went out to eat lunch to Longhorn Steakhouse. We came home, and then we went out one more time, went to another store. Can't remember where else we went. And I made it to all of those and was not the least bit tired when I got home. And it just was such a good feeling that I could go out with my husband again. I still do have, issues with, even though I know how much I've lost and I'm feeling good, I still have the issues with going out and knowing that people, are looking and judging you because you're fat. So I can't wait to just be normal and just to go out and just not even be recognized because, oh, there's just another lady walking by. But I know that's coming, and those are little small goals. And another thing you might want to do that I've done is I've got a little notepad, and what I do is I write down the pros and cons, and I wrote down a long time ago cons of being overweight, and then that list has changed so much since I wrote that list. So I know this video has been long. It's been I think it's almost 30 minutes since. I'm sorry that I've talked that long, but I did want to really touch base, and thank you for watching. Thank you for taking time out to listen to me, and please visit my blog. And like I said, I'll have the links either below this video or on my blog. And I'm going to try my best not to wait so long next time to come on here and to do an update. And then I'll get to a point where I'll stand up, and I won't mind standing up to show how I look in clothes eventually. So God bless you. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.